Hi and welcome to the shop. I'm Jessica. Today I am going to show you a little project I am working on. Now let me get you flipped around here. Now these are the projects that I'm getting ready to start on. They are going to be little ring dishes themed after different flowers. So of course we have daisy here. We also have trillium. This one down here is going to be after a balloon flower. And this one is going to be a common rose. Right now I'm waiting for my kiln to get heated up. Looks like right now it's about 1070 degrees and it needs to be right around 1450 degrees. So while we are waiting for that, I am going to go ahead and get one of the pieces ready for my project. And that is going to be these little feet over here. And these are going to go on the bottom side of the bowls. And it's kind of going to be like a little footrest for the bowls. So I've got 3 of those made. I need to make one more. I'm just using this real thin copper wire, and I'm going to go ahead and make one up. Now I'm getting ready to counter enamel my pieces. Basically that just means applying a layer of enamel to the back side of the piece. This one I just finished applying the back counter enamel layer to it. It has not yet been fired, and I'm going to work on one of these. I think next I will work on this one, and I am going to give it a counter enamel color of, I'm going to go with geranium pink here. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to use this sifter, and it's about the consistency of powdered sugar. And I will pour some in here and sift it on. And then lastly, I will put on one of the little feet at the bottom in a little pile of extra enamel, just like I did with this one. Also, I forgot to mention the very first step, which is to put on a bit of clear fire. Clear fire is almost kind of like a glue that holds the enamel in place until it's being fired. So this solution is 50% clear fire and 50% water. So I'm just going to brush this on. Make sure to get good coverage. And then I will go ahead and put the enamel into the sifter. And I'm going to come back over and make sure I got the clear fire brushed on real good. So I will continue with this. Around the edges is especially important to get on there. You don't want the enamel to fall off there. And there's also another, you can put this in a Prevacel sprayer. It's like an atomizer for paint, and you can also apply the clear fire mixture with that as well. So that looks good. Go ahead and sprinkle this on. I want it to be fairly thick, otherwise I'll have spots where the copper shows through, and that is less attractive, especially since on certain colors, especially opaque colors, that it kind of, the scale level, if it's the enamel's real thin, it kind of gives it an off coloring. So again, I'm going for a more heavy layer of this. And right now this looks white, but it most definitely is going to be pink. Since this is going directly on raw copper instead of white, this is going to be a very deep pink. It almost may look almost like a deep red once this piece is finished. All right, there we go. I'm just gonna put a little extra in the center and set my little foot on there. And try to go in the center and probably just push it down a little. And then I have a little trivet I'm gonna try to grab here. And I'm gonna slide this off as carefully as I can onto the trivet. Try not to knock the enamel off. And voila, it's going to go on a drying rack. I'll show you that next. All right, this is going over to the drying rack, which is basically an old electric griddle, and just goes there to dry off any moisture from the clear fire in the Prevasil. I'm sorry, just the clear fire mixture. And that way, otherwise, if there's any moisture in the enamel before it goes in the kiln, it will bubble up and you'll kind of get a spattering effect in the enamel if there's any moisture or water in there. So now we just wait for the kiln. While I'm waiting for those pieces to dry and get ready to go in the kiln, I figured I would show you this real quick. I know I'm going to get this question down in the comments. Do we offer any of those copper flowers that I'm showing there, the blanks for sale? And we don't at this time, just because we have a limited supply of copper. However, we do offer a lot of those flowers in steel, so you could actually do some steel ring dishes if you wanted to. Here's a daisy. These comes in a pack of 2, and we also have the trillium as well, available at our website. That's www.blacksmithpdfs.com. We have irises, we have roses, and lilies as well. So if you go over to our website, you can pick those up if you are interested, and either make some ring dishes like I am and just texture them. That would look real cool. Or you can actually turn them into flower sculptures. So let's go ahead and get these bowls in the kiln. All right, I'm getting ready to put this piece in the kiln. I'm wearing Kevlar gloves to keep my hands safe, and also I'm using a fork of sorts, stainless steel, to set the piece in the kiln. It's very important to balance the piece when you come out. Otherwise, if you drop it, all your enamel will come off. It's important to get the piece in there and the door closed as quickly as possible. As you see, it dropped a little below 1300 degrees there. And so now we wait. See if we can get a peek inside there. The piece will turn a dull red when it is just about done. We are almost ready now. I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. The enamel changed from white to almost looks like a dark red, and the surface of it smoothed out. So it is going to be ready to pull out. Whew, that is a pretty color. It's going to still darken out a little bit as it cools off. That is the geranium pink. All right, I got something else to show you all. This piece just came out of the kiln, and I'm going to be quiet. You might hear a little crackling. And if you do, what that is bits of scale falling off the underside of the raw copper. And so I'll show you what that looks like on this piece. It looks like this. All that scale, just like you would normally have working with copper regularly. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean this off. Give it a little blow there just to get off the loose scale. And I have a pickle bath over here that I'm going to put this in. And what this particular one is called Scalex number 2, or sorry, Sparex number 2. And it will get the copper clean. So I just put it down in there. And this is just in a little micro crock pot. When it's warm, it works even faster. And I'm going to leave it in there for maybe 10 minutes or so. And that way I can bring it out, and I will put it into a neutralizing bath, which is just water with baking soda. And then finally into just a water rinse. And then it will be ready for the next coat of enamel. While we're waiting for that to pickle, I will go ahead and show you a quick little project I am working on for a secondary channel if you are interested in enameling. It's called Enameling with Jessica, and the link will be down in the description below. But here is a recent video I came up, and it'll be released soon, and it is doing a matching set of a pendant and some earrings. So again, if you are interested in enameling, go check out Enameling with Jessica. And now let's see if the pickle's ready. This just came out of the pickle, and as you can tell, it is significantly cleaner. I am still going to take a Scotch Brite pad and rub it across the surface just to get, it's like a little layer of slime or something that needs to come off of there. But it is ready to do that, and then we will go ahead and add our first layer of enamel over on the front. So that is what is coming up next. All right, so we're going to go ahead and paint on the clear fire, same as before. This is that bonding agent that holds it in place, especially important on domed items. It doesn't matter so much on flat items, because if you're real careful, the enamel will stay in place. But especially with things like this, it's got steep sides, and there's just no way of the enamel staying in place without it. So there we are. Looking it over. All right, and I'm going to put on a layer of white. Now this is opaque foundation white. This particular one comes from Thompson Enamel. I will try to put a list of the supplies I'm using down in the description below. That way, if you're curious about it, you can definitely go and look up more information. And this is an opaque white, so you will not be able to see through it, and I'm using this as my base color. That way I can put a transparent color on top of it, and it will really give it a nice bright pop. Now, I did love how the color on the back of this turned out. It turned out so good that I will definitely be using that again on a project, that geranium pink. But gotta set this aside for a moment and refill my sifter. And continue. I didn't really get any in the center yet there. I was focusing on the petals, getting a nice even coat. The copper, you can kind of see, leaves a light pink place underneath if you miss an area. All right, so this is going to go now on my little tray here, and it is going to go on the drying rack. I just put the piece in for the first layer of enamel to go ahead and fuse to the copper, the white level. And so we are just going to wait for that. I don't think I've told you yet how long that each cycle in there takes. It's taking roughly maybe about 3 minutes, and I'm working with, I think this copper is the equivalent of maybe 18 or 20 gauge. This piece just came out a few minutes before, and it has one layer of white on it as well, and it will get its second layer here shortly. All right, now for our rose, I'm ready to work on what I think will be the final layer. We shall know for sure here after I get the two-step process done. So I'm going to apply my clear coat as before, my clear coat mixture, that is. And then on the rose, I'm trying to replicate. I saw a picture of an actual rose online, and I'm like, oh, that's really pretty. And so it was kind of white in the center, and then towards the edges it was the pink. So that's the geranium pink I chose. So I've got the geranium pink now in the sifter, and I'm gonna try to apply it just on the edges and avoid the center. Kind of do a gradient if I can. And there we go. All right, I think I could go around to each of the edges, put a little extra on, just to make the tips of the rose petals extra pink, hopefully. And then just near the center. A light sprinkling around the center to give it kind of that gradient I was talking about. All right, and then next I have some little glass beads. Sometimes you see this on like Indian style jewelry. And I am going to use some tweezers and place these where I would like, hopefully. This part can be a little tricky. Hopefully the clear coat will help hold that in place. That's what I'm hoping. So they don't wiggle too much. And with the tweezers, you can kind of scoot them a little bit after they're set down. So this will take a few minutes, but I'll show you the result here in a moment. I got the little glass beads placed where I want. Now it's going to go on the rack and get fired in the kiln. All right, here comes the exciting part. We are putting it in for its last round in the kiln. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the colors turn out on this. Again, right now it's just that bit of white on there, what looks like white on white. So we will see that geranium pink as soon as it is done. All right, here it comes. Ooh. Oh, I'm liking that. The little glass beads, I left them in long enough to definitely melt down and in. And I'm seeing that pink starting to come out. Very cool. I just finished up in the kiln. All 4 of my flower bowls are done. Let me flip you around and show you how they turned out. Here we have the balloon flower with the passion purple. Over here we have the trillium. Back here we have a daisy. I used some chartreuse yellow in the center of that, a transparent. And lastly, the rose. That is the one I was working on mainly in this video. So I am super jazzed on how they turned out, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, make sure you check out the resources I mentioned previously if you are interested in learning more about enameling. I'll have a list of the supplies down in the description below. I will also have a link to another channel I am working on called Enameling with Jessica. That will be down in the description as well. And if you want to try making some steel flower bowls, the link will be down in the description for that as well on the where you can get those, which is our website, www.blacksmithpdfs.com. Thanks for joining me for this video. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.